the organization produce the product, they want to compete with other organizations. Imagine Tata Cars are one of the competitors for Maruti. Mahindra is also a competitor. Like that, a company will be having its own competitors. Every company has to be listed in Fortune 500. Those companies are the globally recognized company. They will be listed in stock markets. What is Fortune 500 means? Those companies are listed in stock markets. All the organization will be looking the top portion of stock market. So when they are looking there, the peers will be having the benchmarking. Imagine if Tata releases a car, electrical vehicle, Maruti will have an option for the same electrical car. If there is no option, then the competitor will win. If you want to buy a product for the same rate, similar products will be available by the competitors. If 5 vehicles they are launching per year, imagine every January they launch the new vehicles. And if you want to buy car or motorbikes, you can buy in November or December month, this month or next month. Because when you check the offer periods, the manufacturing company will offer more during November, December. Yearly, they have to send the report to the head office that this is the total amount of products we sell. When they have to give the total cumulative financial report, if the sale is very less, they will be under question mark. For that, what they do is they reduce cost. They offer price 15,000 rupees offer. Consumables is free of cost. Like that they will give. Benchmark is a business tool in order to identify and evaluate the environmental performance. How well the company performs. Environmental parameters. Identify and operating practice. Yes. Many industries set benchmark studies for identifying work process. How they process a work? E-vehicles. E-vehicles are lesser or more costly? Costly. When you compare diesel vehicles, the electric vehicle is costly in terms of car. Take the same car 1500cc, it will be for 10 lakhs, 9 to 10 lakhs minimum. But for diesel engine or petrol engine, you look 7 lakhs they will end. This influence the identifying work progress, practice, influence the environmental performance. The operations detrimental. What do you mean by detrimental? Degradation. Degradation of environment is called detrimental. Mitigation. What is mitigation? After degraded, what we are doing for recovering, it is called mitigation or even positive impact depending upon the practice they have implemented. Every organization have different benchmarks. So they have to set their own in order to progress for environmental benchmarking. This is an image. Why I have provided here is there should be development with sustainability. So this is the benchmark. We need development as well as environmental sustainability. So like this, we should have a benchmark. So the impact and process can be quantified to statistics to evaluate. How the companies will evaluate for benchmark, this I will tell you in next slide. Now, this is an example. Environmental benchmark for fibers. Which industry use fibers? Textile industries. So these are the 6 levels of benchmark. What they provide is class A to class E. Class A is more favorable to environment. Class E is less favorable to environment. And in class A, can you see what are the materials are there for clothing? Can you see organic linen? If organic linen is there, it can be degradable, which is most sustainable. Can you see here? And other thing is organic hemp, recycled cotton, recycled wool. Certain cloths are recyclable. So these are all called class A. Like that, class B, C, D and E. Can you see rayon material? Rayon material are class E. It is less sustainable. So it is not coming under eco-friendly material, and virgin nylon, wools, etc. So these comes under class E. I am giving just an idea. For a textile organization, they have certain input materials in order to process. So there is an increased awareness in interest of the contribution of organization to make climate change. You can contribute to the climate change. Financial index, this is what I said. If you set a good benchmark, if you are buying shares, how many of them having an idea of buying shares, investing in mutual funds? Have you gone through Financial Express newspaper? There will be a specialized newspaper for that. The Financial Express. For what purpose they use is, they give the share trends. The person who buy the share will look into these parameters. If the company has eco-friendly policies, they will buy shares. This is what the point which is discussed here. Financial Times, FTSE4 Good Index, Dow Jones Sustainability Index. These are the index. If you go through some financial newspapers, you will be knowing this. So this increased the emphasis of investors' organization related to carbon associated with climate change. They produce a product which does not emit carbon in the environment. So their shares will be highly sold. That is the advantage of that. A benchmark study should be customized for organizational needs. This is Microsoft. I have taken this from Microsoft organization. Now, how Microsoft set their benchmark for what purpose? How can we advance in sustainability? Environmental Sustainability Report. This is what the report of Microsoft 2024 related to environment. They have monitored. For how many years they are monitoring? FY, financial year. Financial year of 20, 21, 22, 23. 4 years they consider for benchmarking. First one, you can check greenhouse gas emission. Does Microsoft emit greenhouse gases? They sell laptops, electronic items, gadgets, softwares. When creating the product, how much greenhouse gas they lettered out in financial year 20? 1,18,000 of metric ton of CO2. What is the unit of this? MT. Metric ton of CO2 they have emitted. But in financial year 23, how much of metric ton of CO2 is emitted? 1,44,000. They are increasing the CO2. Can you see? In financial year 20, 21, 22, 23, they are slowly improving the scope. And total emissions from 1 crore 22 lakhs 27,000 total to currently in 2023, what is their total greenhouse gas emission? 1 crore 71 lakhs. They are constantly increasing the greenhouse gas emission. Now, you are the management committee of Microsoft. What benchmark you will set? You will take that how to reduce greenhouse gas emission in year by year. This is what the benchmark. Can you see? Product, goods and service. They transport the laptops, no? They transport the gadgets. How they transport? Through vehicles. Vehicles emit what? Gases. CO2 gases they emit. If they transport through ships, if they transport through e-vehicles, imagine we will transport all our vehicle by electrical vehicles only. If they sign, what will happen? During their service, total CO2 emitted will be reduced, isn't it? Like that, they have to set benchmark. The companies has to sit and write a policy that all the distributions will be done from electrical vehicles only. If they said that, they can reduce the upstream transportation. Can you see what is upstream transportation? Yes, they need products. They need metal parts, no? For manufacturing laptop, they need metals. Raw material to their industry, it is upstream. After manufacturing the product, they take to the customer. That is called downstream. So can you see downstream transportation? So for upstream transportation and downstream transportation, they emit more CO2. This is the benchmark type of setting. Reduced in financial year 20, how much of metric ton of waste? 9,500, and in 24, 8,000. certain things they reduced, certain things they have increased. So when evaluating this environmental data, they disclose this, how well they are performing. Next thing is energy. This is energy consumption in organization. Now in financial year 2022-23, total non-renewable fuel consumed. Non-renewable energy is natural gas, crude oil or diesel. If they use generator, imagine for powering their organization, they use generator. The generators are diesel consuming. So they use that power, that is called non-renewable fuel consumed. LPG gasoline. How much they consume? 43,000 megawatt hour. MWH is called what? Megawatt hour. This is what they consume. But now check electricity heating. In their office they might use electricity, heating, cooling, ACs. They use steam. The electricity, cooling, hot water system, they consume this much. Now total non-renewable energy is 4,49,000 only. Total renewable energy consumption is 1,02,44,000. Can you see, either Microsoft uses renewable energy more or non-renewable energy more? Renewable energy. They are having solar power panels, windmills, etc. to consume energy. The percentage of renewable energy is 100% they use renewable energy. Now in financial year 22-23, they use direct renewable energy of electricity of 59%. Water. For any organization they need water, they can take from surface water, that is from river, or they can take from groundwater, from bore, third party waters, which are consumed from the corporations. So they are consuming more third party water. Can you see there is an increasing trend? Next one, waste and circularity. How much waste they consume? Non-hazardous waste and hazardous waste. If they compare percentage of product packing recyclability is 94% of the Microsoft products are what? Recyclable. Percentage of single use plastic products is how much? 2.7 only. So they are decreasing the plastic production and increasing the renewable production. Now, approach to environmental benchmarking. Define criteria and establish practice. Now, what criteria shall Microsoft adopt? I have shown you one criteria. They use water, how they use electricity, how they emit greenhouse gas. Now, you define a criteria that what should be done. Percentage of single-use plastic in product packing. When packing their product, they use 2.7% of plastic. So, in benchmarking, what criteria you can define? Reduce that plastic, and that 2.7% of plastic consumption has to be reduced. You have to make one policy. Define performance metrics and criteria. What we have discussed earlier, performance criteria, and allow for comparison across firms. What do you mean by that? The Microsoft will compare their performance. What are other competitors of Microsoft? Apple. Apple has laptop, no? Apple has softwares, no? They have operating system. Google has some operating system. So they are the competitors. So Microsoft has to compare across firms. They have to compare whom? Apple. They have to compare Apple. How they are making their product, how they distribute, how much electricity they consume. They have to go through that metrics criteria. Now, research, industry practice and trends. How to approach benchmarking? You should have research, industry practice and trends. If any innovation has to be done, it has to be done with research. Quantitative and qualitative data has to be taken and policies has to be set in order to create action, success, failure of industry peers. Now, select individual organization for study. We have studied Microsoft. Select individual organization for study. Organization as leaders in the industry and sustainability report measures, industry awards has to be taken. An organization is not getting awards They should set a benchmark that eco-friendly award has to be received by our industry. So sustainability report measures and industrial awards has to be selected in order to approach. So evaluation of overall performance and identify best in class performance. Perform gap analysis. When doing their process, they have to find the gap where we are missing the items and identify the strength and weakness in their field. And finally, target the recommendations. Cutting edge project policies has to be created. New inventions has to be made. How inventions can be made? By research. So through research, you can do benchmarking. When you do benchmarking, you can set for new standards in new year, and this cycle has to be yearly processed and progressed.